I don't know about you, but my life was play to video games as a kid. It brought me to points where I'd sit down and play for 14, 12, 16 hours a day and repeatedly do it, get little sleep, and not really notice much else about life. Now, on the surface level, not knowing anything, it was fine. I just kind of did life like this because, well, I didn't have neighbors to go outside with. I didn't have any plans, so I just kind of sit there and do my thing. Now, it only comes to years and years later when you realize that there is something else you can do to reach more potential within yourself and to see what you can actually be capable of. Because, well, it's great to have that feeling in a screen. It's only in a screen and it's very impermanent. It's very wishy-washy. If your data gets deleted, all of a sudden your skill, your effort is all put away behind some code. So today I'm going to be going over things like this, and maybe if you have a food addiction, like, maybe you eat too much. I'm going to go over how to take these nagging problems and turn them into steps of recovery to, well, obviously, gain your time back and your freedom to do whatever you'd like. So, without further ado, the first step would be separation. This is what I did. So, understanding separation is a matter of fact that your life will continue whether you do that thing or you don't do that thing. It is not dependent on the fact if you go and do that action. Once you have that basic understanding, right, you can then start making steps in the positive direction that you wish to go. But first, you have to realize that you and the thing that you're addicted to are not one thing. They're separate, and you can separate yourself from that. Once you realize that, you can then take the power that you have as an individual and separate yourself from that thing. Simply, the best way to do it is, well, for me, I'll just share with you how it works for me. So, there are two versions of me to wake up in the morning. There's the one which immediately grabs my phone, starts scrolling on YouTube, finds a video game, watches it, and then wants to play it. So then I get on my Xbox and start playing it. But then there's the other version of me who wakes up and says, I'm not going to scroll. I'm going to go take a shower. I'm going to go do normal things. And then I'm going to go do the thing that I want to work for. Well, okay. Now we're here. You see what I mean? There's two different realities that you can live whether you are addicted to junk food or not, right? We'll go off of that one. I wake up in the morning and I go and take a shower. I go and eat breakfast. Now, there's two versions of me at breakfast. There's the one version of me which immediately, unconsciously goes to the cupboard, grabs a snack, goes back to my room. But then there's the other part of me that says, okay, we're going to put this back. Then we're going to go and grab eggs and some toast, maybe whatever else you'd like. Well, maybe not what you like because you have an addiction, but you grab the healthy things and you start making an actual breakfast out of them. Now, that alone will benefit your life in a major way. You'll be able to change your habits and mitigate any mental or physical damage done to you by yourself. And that is the most dangerous form of harm, is self-harm, because you don't really know it. What I mean, meaning you don't know when you're hurting yourself or how you're hurting yourself or why you're even hurting yourself. That's why psychiatrists are so important for people for therapy, because therapy allows people to have a different perspective on what their life looks like, right? You tell them your life, and in response, they tell you how they perceive you. And they can tell you, one second, sorry, got an itch in my eye. Okay. They tell you how to experience these things, so maybe your life will be adjusted in a minor way, but maybe in a way where you feel emotionally more fulfilled. So, minus this rant I just went on, separation, right? You have to take the opportunity to separate and actually do it. You can't wake up and do the same action every day and expect a different result. If I woke up and I decided to watch YouTube videos and I saw a video game and I watched it, I'd end up be playing that video game. You know what I mean? But instead, I took a different action and now I'm here. It's very simple how life works, ladies and gentlemen. It's very simple. You just have to understand that it all matters within the first action you take in that moment where it decides whether you're going to be doing the thing or not doing the thing. Okay? You just have to decide the fact that this action is not going to work and then change it. Now, second step, intention. This is more of like a helpful tip. However, I want to include this in the video so that way you get a better understanding of how to actually change your habits. Because you have to have an intention, right? Before you even go and change your habits, you have to have a goal identity in mind. You have to have something you want to become. You can then take steps and conquer certain habits so that you can adjust your life to becoming the person you want to be. That way, it'll allow you to not only separate yourself from your emotions and the addictions that you have, it'll also allow you to create a goal, or rather, strive for that goal and become the person you want to be because of the fact that you understand certain actions indicate certain results for you. Having that intention will allow you to become more consistent in following your new habits, and it'll allow you to gain new skills along the way because you understand what the sacrifice is for. If you do not know why you're doing something, you won't do it. You have to understand that as you're doing something, you want to know why. Why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing this because I want to be able to spread knowledge to the entire world, and I also want to be able to make a profit off of it so that way I can provide further financial freedom for myself and my family, right? That would be a short summary of what I would want to do with this channel. Now, for you, it would be different, obviously, whatever you're doing. But having that mentality, having that understanding that there is more to life than what is right in front of me, really allows you to open up your perspective and see how do people live the way you want to live, right? Are you the type of person that wants to sit down and do 12, 14, 16-hour days? Or are you the type of person that would rather sit there for 30 minutes and work, right? Now, I'll give you a little personal insight here, because maybe it'll help you out, like with this whole kind of separating yourself from emotional addictions. Personally, me, I would rather work those 14, 12, and 16-hour days. Because it's so familiar to me, you know? Because if I go back to what I said, I was a child, I was playing video games, and I was really addicted. But I can take that idea of being able to sit down in one spot for that long, and I can apply that into real-world skills. Like, now if I had to, I would be fine sitting here recording for 12 hours straight. I could do it just fine. It's not a problem. That's kind of like, in a weird way, it's like a skill that I learned. Like, I learned the skill of sitting down for such a long time. So, ironically as it sounds, I have a lot of patience that developed from this because of the fact that I've been able to sit down for so long and just pay attention and respond and act, you know? Those steps are kind of beneficial. Now, obviously, you get all the negative drawbacks, which really outweigh the positives, but, like, the point here is that you can translate your skills into other areas of your life as well. So let's say maybe you're a plumber, and you know how to do plumbing, okay? So you know how to apply knowledge from theory into the real world, because you're able to put things together in a way where they actually work rather than just sitting there and kind of studying it, you know? It's different when you're building it compared to when you're planning it out like an architect. So that alone is like a skill in execution, right? You learn the skill of how to execute. Because if you're a plumber, you wouldn't know how to be an architect because you would have no clue how to plan a building. But if you got a plan from an architect, you'd be able to read it and build it. See what I mean? So this has been how to separate yourself and break the emotional addictions, right? I hope this has helped you, and I hope in your future you'll be able to break your emotional addictions and replace them with new habits which will empower your life to become something better than it was previously. Thank you. And as always, we're here to help you help them.